Hi, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Candace, and I want to go a little deeper into healing, talk a little more about healing. I just posted a video about the healing process, explaining where I'm at right now, and just talking about the journey. And it's been such a journey. And then today is my last day in Jamaica. I was at the pool getting some sun, and I'm laying at the pool and I'm getting some sun and I'm really enjoying myself. I'm wanting to soak up as much of the Caribbean as I can before I go. I'm flying back to Michigan where my babies are with my mom, and I'm wanting to get as much of it as I can, and I'm laying there, but I want to be in silence. Like, in my present moment, I'm really enjoying where I'm at, but I'm at the pool. There are other people at the pool. The music is playing. There's a lot of external, and I keep thinking I want to make a video. I want to talk about healing, and I'm feeling it. But I can't make a video over the music playing. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't want to go back to the room because I want this beautiful view. I want these palm trees in my background. Like, I want this, trying to control things as we always do as humans. But it's not quiet. So I leave that space, and in between the pool and when you come into the hotel, there's a little quiet space that's set up for people to sit and smoke, and I'm sitting in this lounge chair, which is in the shade, and it's really nice. And I get a YouTube notification from a video by Erin Daughtry, and the title of the video is Just Fucking Start. Just fucking start. And I'm thinking about all of the procrastinations going on in my head. And I'm thinking about how that's with everything, Like, I'm writing, but like my laptop crashed. And then I started writing on my iPad, but my iPad broke. And I'm like, well, when I get another computer, I'll start writing again. And I'm like, I have pen and I have paper. What am I waiting for? There's silence in my room. I have a private room. There's no one here to bother me. Just start. And I wanted to reference Erin Daughtry because he's one of the YouTubers I originally started following when I started following spiritual teachers on YouTube. Pre-pandemic, I started watching his videos about law of attraction and raising your vibration. I did a few of his guided meditations to raise your vibration, shift your timeline. And literally the things that he was teaching, I was applying, and my life was changing. I've had multiple timeline shifts since that reality of that girl who started watching those videos. But I stopped watching him because I felt like I didn't need him anymore. I started getting really deep into astrology, and I started following astrology people and teachers in that department. And then when I started working, when I took Amanda's course to do the energy work, to work with Archangel Metatron and to channel angels and bring out the healing, to do energy work as an energy healer, I started following energy healers, and I stopped watching his videos. And then just today, as I was procrastinating, as I was giving myself excuses why I wasn't going to do what I felt like in that moment I really want to do, here comes the notification. Just fucking start. In the videos talking about how he became a YouTuber and he just made a bunch of videos, repetition, and he looks back on how they were terrible videos, but it's the repetition. And I think back about my first Ashtanga yoga teacher, Krista. One of her sayings was, strength comes from consistency. Do your practice, all is coming is an Ashtanga yoga quote from Guruji. Do your practice, all is coming. Just do your practice, all is coming. That doesn't just apply to Ashtanga yoga. Your breath work, do your practice, all is coming. You know, the last video when I spoke about my experience on the airplane with all of the chaos around me, it's that breath, that practice of my breath work, that practice of being in center, where I was able to apply it in real life situations, you know, and in a real life situation. Do your practice, all is coming. Wow, Jamaica. I have the window open for, I want the salt air. I want to soak it up. It's very hot in my room, but I like it that way. And so strength comes from consistency, and it doesn't just apply on the mat. You know, writing, painting. What do? Do it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Don't worry about whether you're good enough. Don't worry about whether, whatever excuses go on, just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And don't give up. So I rewatched my video this morning while I was taking my moon bath. Today's full moon in Aries. I like to have moon rituals with fire, but the fire I'm getting today is from a tea light. I'm not going to light a fire on the property here in this hotel. I don't need to be arrested on my last day. But so I took a moon bath, put my crystals up, filled up the water, set my space, Palo Santo, lit an incense, got in the bath, did some mantra chanting, Om Asatoma. Om Asatoma. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me, I'm probably saying this backwards. Lead me from darkness to light, from real to unreal, from death to immortality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The Sanskrit is Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mricho Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti is peace, so it's Om, peace, peace, and perfect peace. It's like one of the basic mantras you learn when you start diving into a yoga practice. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so I said it until tears started flowing out of my eyes. Just tears, 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 tears. I couldn't even say the mantra anymore. My voice was so cracked with tears. And I cried. I cried until I could sing again. So why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this because this is my journey. This is part of the healing process. This is what I do. This is what I've realized, that this is how I serve. I serve by walking the path, sharing my experience, and just putting it out there for anybody who resonates. Because maybe some person somewhere along the way is asking themselves today, how do I heal? You know? And I listened back to my last video and I was thinking about that. Like, I talked about healing. I talked about wanting to be with people with integrity, people who show up for themselves, who process, who heal, who do the work. But what if you don't know how to do that? You know? What if you don't know how to do that? What if right now in your reality you don't have a couple thousand, $2,000, $3,000 to book a retreat, to study with a teacher? How do you heal? Where do you start? You start where it hurts. This is my journal. Couple journals. I have so many journals. Everything, I write it down. Everything that inspires me. Everything that hurts me. Everything that I don't want to forget. Everything that I do want to forget. I write it down. It's a really good place to start. What do you love? Surround yourself by the things that you love. Maybe you can't do it all the time, but make what you love a priority. It's only energy. Sadness, even depression, grief, they're energies, right? So understanding that they're energies, there's polarity. On the opposite spectrum of hate is love. On the opposite spectrum of sadness is happiness. They're energies on opposite spectrums. So when you're in an energy that doesn't feel good, that hurts, feel it. You start with acceptance. Are you angry? What are you really angry at? You know, write down what you're angry at. Write down what feels unfair. Write down what feels like a betrayal. Read it. Look at it. Cry about it. Burn it. Rip it. Flush it down the toilet. That's acceptance. This is it. This is how I feel. I don't want to feel this way. I want to feel good. So what makes me feel good? This morning for me it was a nice hot bath. This afternoon it was the beach, not the beach, the pool, you know, laying in the sun. The sun is here to be of service. The sun gives you vitamin D, recharges your body. It lifts your spirit, it lifts your soul, it lifts you. There are light codes in the sun that when you are out in the sun actually can activate things inside you, things within your DNA that you may not remember being in a lower energy frequency like sadness or fear or anger or frustration or whatever, grief. You may not get the full understanding of what you're feeling in the sun, but as you're starting to feel better, be in that and be grateful for that. Like, gratitude is a wonderful, wonderful place to start healing. Everything's going wrong in your day, everything's going wrong, but one little tiny thing, a child smiles at you and it makes you feel good in your heart and you smile back. In your head, just say, wow, thank you for smiling, you know? Just noticing the little things and bringing gratitude to them, it helps. It's part of the process. It's, you know, and these are suggestions. I'm just coming up with like suggestions that come off the top of my head to help, you know, anybody who doesn't have, you know, the means to know where to start. So we talked about writing it down. Baths, water is healing. Anything that Mother Earth provides for you is healing. Anything, you know, touching a tree, walking barefoot on the earth, sitting in the sand, those things are grounding. If you're feeling off balanced, if you're not feeling like yourself, you're feeling disoriented, you're feeling like you don't want to be here, you're feeling like you just hate everything, you just want to die, get grounded. Get grounded and breathe. Breath is wonderful. Having a practice of doing breath work, conscious breathing. Conscious breathing is breathing with intention. So obviously we breathe all the time. We wouldn't be alive if we weren't breathing. But when you're actually sitting down and bringing awareness to your breath, breathing in, pause, breathing out. There's so many techniques. You can Google breathing techniques, breathing for anxiety, breathing for this, breathing for that. There are so many different teachers who offer different breath work, different techniques. And a really simple one, when I used to teach yoga for children, I taught this one to the kids because it's so simple. Even kindergartners were doing it. I taught kindergarten through 8th grade in a charter school. I was the yoga teacher. I did it for 2 years. And then we moved to Puerto Rico and my girlfriend took my place. It was an experience that stays in my heart. Those children stay in my heart. And I'm grateful, so grateful for that experience. But these little kindergarteners, 1st grade, 2nd grade, all of them, they learned this breath work and they were able to be outside of my yoga class in their world. Some of them come from homes, very toxic homes, very low income houses, you know, carrying the weight of the world on a child's shoulder. What a child should never have to carry, but they do. Lots of them do. And a lot of them do when the parents aren't even in awareness of the traumas that the children are carrying. And it's a very simple technique. I told them to count to 3. Breathe through your nose and out your nose. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3. Pause for a second. Breathing out 1, 2, 3. Pause. Breathing in 1, 2, 3. Pause. Breathing out 1, 2, 3. Easy, right? It's very easy. So how does this help? Well, obviously, when you bring in oxygen, you're bringing oxygen to your muscles, you're bringing oxygen to your lungs, you're bringing oxygen to your body. Oxygen it revitalizes everything. It's life force. Well, prana is energy, prana is your life force, but the breath is life. And when you're counting, you're not thinking. You're not thinking about what hurts. You're not thinking about what bothers you. You're not thinking about what you're afraid of. You're just counting and breathing. So the mind gets to stop. So you're doing the breath. You're turning off the mind. You're present. You can hear what's going on around you, but you're counting and you're breathing. So there's, you don't know where to start there. And then bring love into the space. This is a hard one, especially when you've been betrayed, when you've been hurt, when you've been abandoned. Bringing love into the space. One love. God bless. One love. But I talk about my past relationship and my other relationships. I blogged about my relationships because we really do learn through our relationships. if we stay in a space where we just look at what happened that didn't feel good, that caused us to not feel good, and we keep repeating that story, that's going to forever be the story. In the energy that you feel from that story, the sadness, the bitterness, that's going to stay your energy. When you think about that person, that's what's going to come, that pain. So how do you let that go? By replacing it with love. Understand that whatever happened for them to be removed from your life, if they are removed from your life, maybe they're still in your life and they're causing you pain. If that is the case, I would love to tell you, remove them from your life. It's very hard when it's a family member, but there are ways to practice boundaries, especially with some, like if you're a child and you're underage and it's your mother that's causing your pain, you know, that's a difficult one. That is a difficult one. Put love in the space. How do you do that? Well, first, I want to tell you that everybody's reality is different. We all see through a different lens. So you may see something as one way, but they see it as another way. And sometimes people don't even see how they're hurting you. Other times they do. They're very much aware of it, and those people do need help. They do. But a lot of people hurt you unintentionally. So realize that there's a saying, there is a biblical saying, please forgive them for they do not know what they do not know. And I talk a lot about the Ho'oponopono meditation. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Very powerful meditation for transferring the energy. Like, I know that you hurt me. I know that it's part of acceptance is knowing, okay, I know that you hurt me. And I'm sorry that you don't see what you're doing or how your actions are affecting me. Which is why I need to go into my personal space where you don't have access to me anymore. I love you for the soul that you are, for the journey that you're on. I wish you nothing but happiness. If I didn't make you happy, this is how I feel about my relationship with my past lover. For whatever reason, my love was not the love you were seeking. I hope you find it. And that's how I feel about it. Do I still have some unhealed trauma from it? Yes, I do. I'm actively working on it every single day. But because that experience happened, I thank him. I thank him for showing me that I wasn't all the way healed and I still have healing to do. This may be a really far-fetched way to look at life for someone who is in the very beginning of the healing process. You may be crying your eyes out and just can't stand even being alive right now. I understand that. I do. I really, really do. Write it down. Write it down. Just write it down and you'll get there. Step by step by step by step. And when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. As you go deeper, people will come into your life. They'll come into your life and it'll just be like peeling another layer back off the veil that's covering your eyes. And when the student is ready, the teacher will disappear. When you don't need the lesson anymore, they'll go. And you have to let them go. Because when you hold on to people that want to go, and you hold on to them, and you want them to stay, you're attached. You want to control. those are all roots to suffering, because you're not allowing that soul to have their own soul journey, their own soul path, their own sovereignty. We have free will, and you have to just let them go and love them as they go. Love them as they go. Wish them the absolute best in life. If they were abusive towards you, write a little prayer. Write a little prayer down, you know, that, like, for instance, let's say somebody is completely narcissistic and gaslighted you through the whole relationship. Be thankful that they're not with you anymore, because you don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. But pray that they can see themselves, and that they maybe don't do that in their next relationship. It's very easy to say, it's very easy to see somebody who has a habit of toxic behavior and seeing them get in a relationship and feeling hurt because you loved them so much, but they couldn't love you and they abused you, and now they're in another relationship and you don't understand what this person has that you didn't have because you loved so purely. Just so purely. But understand, they have more lessons to learn. And this person could be that teacher. And if this person isn't that teacher, maybe this person needed them as a teacher. This person needed them to hurt them. God spoke to me 2 days ago. Yesterday? 2 days ago. I don't know. It's all flying by. I went to the spa here in the hotel to get a massage and to get a pedicure. Haven't gotten a pedicure from anybody other than me doing my own toes in almost 2 years. It felt really good. When I felt so uncomfortable getting the pedicure by this woman because I felt like she was judging me at first. Like, here comes this entitled little white girl, tourist, coming to Jamaica to get her toes done, and I felt like, I don't know, a story. It was a story playing in my head. And I was like, I just let it go. And I felt like I needed to tell her, that my friend had promised me this trip 22 years ago, and I'm finally here, and about my babies and how I just was coming out of a broken heart. I felt like I needed to tell her that story so she could see me as something other than this entitled tourist. And there was a lesson for me in that, because I didn't need to tell her any of it. But she was so curious. She was so curious from the fact that I waited. I had patience. She started saying, she's like, can I ask you a question? 23 years ago, when you wanted to come to Jamaica, and she was asking me about it, she's like, you had faith. You planted the seed, and here you are 23 years later in Jamaica. The whole time you could have gave up. You could have not, but that's how God works. God works. She said, the conversation got so deep. I really wish I would have written down some of what she said. She was just channeling so beautifully. I just wanted to cry as I was getting my toes done, and I just was like, I love you. I told her, I was like, you are so wise, so wise, this woman doing my toes. I didn't expect to get into this conversation here in Jamaica. Everyone I've been around, everyone I've seen and witnessed is just drinking and vacationing. Alcohol, music, it's just consume. And here's Jesus right here. Here's God right here talking to me through my pedicure woman. And she says, we talked about relationships and letting it go. And she said, we talked about separation, and she said, God is your thoughts, the imagination is the wisdom. And I liked that. God is your thoughts, and the imagination is the wisdom. She said a lot, but just to have that experience, I'm so grateful. It was wonderful. I made sure she got a really good tip, and I just kept hugging her when I was done, and I was like, thank you. This is what I needed. I came to Jamaica to sit in this tiny little box to get my toes done by this woman to hear this message. The rest of it looks beautiful in pictures. That is why I came here. So, full moon in Aries is today. It's a magical day. Just fucking start. Pluto is going direct today. I don't know, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about life. And I'm gonna make more videos on healing. It's what I know. It's what I do. It's what it's where I'm at right now. I had a few people telling me that I shouldn't make my videos so personal. I shouldn't just talk about my story. But that's how you remove the story. By getting it out. Getting it out. And I like to share. I like to share my story because the feedback that I've gotten in sharing my story from people on their path has been very positive. So that's all I need as far as motivation goes. So yeah, I hope everybody has a beautiful, blessed day. Beautiful, beautifully blessed day. And I don't know, I love you all so very much, and thank you for listening to me. And just start by writing it down. I hope this helps anybody. Thank you.